Welcome back to the Crypto's Key conversation. Let's just quickly jump into CoinGecko here and see what the market's looking like. Seeing a lot more green still than we've seen in the past couple of weeks. We've been through a lot in the market. As you can see, Bitcoin sitting at 3.1%, Ethereum at 4.8%, Binance Coin at a 5.9%, Tether is Tether, Solana 7.5%. Cardano 9.5, XRP at a 4.8%, sitting at 80 cents, which is nice to see, and so on. There's a lot of green here, which is great to see. Phantom got a nice little 14 percenter. Some news came from Phantom. That's probably why they're pumping like that. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to go over some tweets that I kind of want to share my testimony and kind of what my thoughts are on them that I saw in the Twitterverse. So we're going to start here with Charles Gasparino and his tweets. Breaking: Ripple's legal team sees the value in COVID-related delay of the SEC and XRP case. They want to grill the witnesses for the entire 7-hour deposition, limited in person as opposed to via Zoom, where it's less effective. More details later on. Scoop: Ripple is asking the judge in the SEC versus Ripple case over XRP to delay the close of expert discovery to February 28, 2022, according to a letter obtained by Eleanor Tarrant of Fox Business. Ripple's legal team wants a delay because of COVID travel issues. So then as we come up here, Scoop: Ripple SEC Gov asking judge to extend deadline for taking witness testimony on XRP case from this week to February 28, citing COVID outbreak. Also, Ripple believes judge this week could rule on its motion to get internal SEC documents, commission discussions of XRP. So hearing that there's another extension, another delay in the case, it's definitely it hurts. It definitely hurts. But getting out of my emotions and just kind of thinking, okay, obviously, if they're all for extending, if Ripple's all for extending, expert discovery so they can further strengthen their position, then I'm all for it, because at the end of the day, we need regulatory clarity for XRP so Ripple can do its thing and expand, the company and expand the use case and exposure of XRP as a digital asset. So, when I first heard that they want to extend it to, a whole another month and a week or so, it's like, are you kidding me? But then came over to James Phelan's tweets here, and he was stated, XRP community, SEC versus Ripple. Due to complications related to COVID, the parties have filed a joint letter requesting until February 28, 2022 to complete expert discovery, stating that the extension, if granted, will not impact any other deadline in the case. Which, hearing that, made me feel a lot better, because we're thinking, oh, another delay, another extension. Okay, what are they going to do whenever we get to the next set date? Are they going to create another extension? Is it going to push all the other aspects of the case? Is that going to push all those other aspects further out? Like, are we going to have to wait that much longer? So to hear that, if it does get extended and it's granted by the Judge Netburn, it will not impact any other deadline in the case, which is massive. This is just the other information on the legal stuff. My belief is that before filing this motion, the parties agreed to specific dates for every remaining expert deposition, far enough out that they believe COVID won't be a problem, so that they could say to the court that all expert discovery would be completed by February 28th. So I totally agree. I mean, if they're going the the delay route, pushing it out to the 28th, there definitely needs to be concise, crisp, very detailed agreement of like, hey, we're kicking it out to this date. It's not going to change any of the other dates and requirements when it comes to this case, because we need to get this thing rolling. At the end of the day, we all want, the clarity that we need. The space needs clarity. Ripple and XRP needs clarity, especially for, all of us investors that's been holding XRP. Like, for instance, me and my wife have been holding since late 2017, accumulating throughout the entire rise and fall, throughout the entire bear market, all the way up until this point. So to wait, another 3, 6, 9 months, whatever the case is really not that big of a deal. But we're ready. Just like a lot of you out there, I know you're ready. So we need to get this ball rolling. So as long as they have, the proper, documentation and the proper dialogue and wording within their extensions and make sure that they aren't going to have more delays in the case, then man, I'm all for it. So I came across another tweet by Tom Emmer. He actually has a little thread going on here that I thought was pretty powerful, and I loved to see and hear what he had to say. So he says, "Today I introduced a bill prohibiting the Fed from issuing a central bank digital currency directly to individuals. Here's why it matters." So then, I mean, you can read all that if you want, but you can come down here and we can kind of go through his thread. As other countries like China develop CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, that fundamentally omit the benefits and protections of cash, it is more important than ever to ensure the United States digital currency policy protects financial privacy, which is massive, maintains the dollar dominance, and cultivates innovation. CBDCs that fail to adhere to these three basic principles could enable an entity like the Federal Reserve to mobilize itself into a retail bank, collect personally identifiable information on users, and track their transactions indefinitely. So the whole policy to protect, financial privacy and the issues of, kind of being like taking the China route and, collecting all our information and literally tracking any and everything we spend our money on. I know for me personally, I'm not comfortable with that. Obviously, we have a credit card and bank account and, those things can be tracked, but it's like to really have someone that can literally see everything that I'm spending my money on and even potentially has the power to shut me off from, accessing my funds at any given point, if I'm not abiding by certain rules that they set in place or whatever the case is. And I'm just thinking from a China standpoint, kind of what, the route that, it seems like they're going, that's a problem. So I'm glad that he's actually, bringing this to light and bringing this up because we do need that financial privacy. It's our money and we really don't want everybody to know our business. Now, he comes down here and says, not only does the CBDC model raise single point of failure issues, leaving Americans' financial information vulnerable to attack, but it could be used as a surveillance tool that Americans should never be forced to tolerate from their own government. Absolutely. So, cyber attacks are massive. These hackers, whether they're white hat, black hat, whatever the case is, like they're getting better each and every day. So if our information is vulnerable and we're at risk of, being exposed, I mean, that only brings, more problems. And that's, icing on the cake of just being in our business, not having that privacy. Coming down here, requiring users to open an account at the Fed to access a United States CBDC would put the Fed on an insidious path akin to China's digital authoritarianism. So that's literally what I was just saying. It's like, are we going to be the United States, or are we going to follow in the footsteps of China and take the route of how they, do things within their country? Don't know how I feel about that. We definitely have to be very careful about how we roll out CBDCs within the U.S. Any CBDC implemented by the Fed must be open, permissionless, and private. This means that any digital dollar must be accessible to all, transact on a blockchain that is transparent to all, and maintain the privacy elements of cash. Absolutely. In order to maintain the dollar status as the world's reserve currency in a digital age, it is important that the United States lead with a posture that prioritizes innovation and does not aim to compete with the private sector. Simply put, we must prioritize blockchain technology with American characteristics, rather than mimic China's digital authoritarianism out of fear. So I just thought that was a pretty powerful thread by Tom Emmer, and I wanted to share it. And I love that, he's bringing this to light, and, make sure you go on and like it and retweet it as well, because this definitely needs to be spread, and this information definitely needs to be out there for everybody to see. I wanted to end the video with something that Unusual Wells posted, because we talk about, the SEC and, Jay Clayton dropping, the bomb on Ripple and XRP holders with this SEC versus Ripple case. And then you come in and you see something like this, breaking news. I have just released a full trading report on politicians in 2021. In short, many beat the market. They traded more than ever before, and they made numerous unusually timed trades, resulting in huge gains. So really think about that. I'm gonna say it one more time. Many of them beat the market. Okay, they have access to a lot of information that us normal retail investors don't have. They're the ones setting the policies. They traded more than ever before. And then you have one of our lead representatives in our country when it comes to this stuff, saying she doesn't think that there's any problem with these politicians and these people in these positions of power to invest in individual stocks. So this definitely makes sense. They're trading more than ever before because there's obviously nothing wrong with it, right? And they made numerous unusually timed trades. So that just goes into the position of power, their influence on setting policies and kind of setting rules and the lay of the land, and then just overall just having the capital and access and information. So it kind of allows them to so-called unusually time these trades. So I'm not one to talk about politics and all these different things, choosing a side, this or that. I mean, I'm literally just trying to show. You have the SEC that so-called set out to protect, investors, United States investors, especially as retail investors, but you guys drop a lawsuit on over 60,000 plus. I mean, that's only the people that's in the class action lawsuit with Johnny Deaton, but you drop a lawsuit on us, hindering our financial goals for those of us that invested in XRP. This whole time, XRP's been suppressed throughout this entire bull cycle in this bull market within the crypto space. But, you have these politicians behind closed door having made numerous unusually timed trades, beating the market, trading more than ever. These individuals have more access and more information than the normal person. Isn't that considered insider trading? I mean, how do you destroy the SPY this bad? I mean, maybe they're maybe they're just the best investors and traders ever. I just wanted to throw this out there. I thought this was pretty powerful, and it honestly made me laugh. I mean, it's unfortunate that that's the world we live in, and us as investors in XRP and supporters of Ripple and the impact they can make in their company and the impact they can make onto each individual's lives and the way we operate in the entire world when it comes to, cross-border settlement payments and just efficiency of everything. I mean, it's sick that this is our reality. But, us smaller investors, us everyday people working hard on our 9-to-5 jobs, trying to make our money work for us, trying to make and sustain a better life for our families, taking care of our kids, our loved ones, our spouses. But you have, these, very few individuals crushing it, making millions and millions of dollars. It's sickening. So I just quickly wanted to touch on, all those different tweets I saw in the Twitterverse. Obviously, the SEC versus Ripple case is still ongoing with the delay in expert discovery if it's granted by Judge Netburn and her associates. Obviously, we're going to be pushing to February 28th. Hopefully, they truly stick to keeping everything else in an orderly fashion in regards of the timeline of how things are supposed to be laid out per the case. I'll leave the legal dialogue to the experts like John Deaton, Jeremy Hogan, Phelan. James Phelan, and all those guys and gals out there that are involved in that. But I just wanted to come on here and kind of share my testimony and kind of how I feel and how I view things, what's going on in the current market, especially being, heavily invested into XRP and believing in having high conviction within Ripple and XRP, moving into the future. I'm just letting you know, nothing I say on here is ever financial advice, but I'm telling you right now, my wife and I have been holding and accumulating since late 2017, and we're going to continue to hold and accumulate and hold strong, knowing that we are on the right side of history and we're on the right side of the law. And we're going to be very, very successful and profitable when Ripple comes out of this case with flying colors and they're able to take off their shackles and handcuffs and just soar on past the moon. With all that being said, stay strong, be safe.